Most people think their biggest enemy is a rival, a bad boss, or the goals they can't seem to hit. They're wrong. Your real enemy is closer. It's the quiet, comfortable lies you whisper to yourself every single day. It's the lie that calls fear patience. The lie that calls stagnation peace. In this video, we're going to confront that enemy. Because only by telling yourself the truth, the brutal truth, can you finally seize control of your life. This isn't about small white lies. This is about the fundamental story you tell yourself to survive. The most dangerous sentence in the world isn't a threat from someone else. It's the whisper from inside your own head. I'm fine. When you look in the mirror, do you see the truth behind your own eyes? The exhaustion, the quiet desperation, the gnawing feeling you're living a life that isn't yours. We think liars are people who betray others. But the most frequent and damaging lies are the ones we tell ourselves. Today, we go to war, not with the world, but with the illusions you've mistaken for shelter. We are going to dismantle the architecture of self-deception, brick by brick, until nothing is left but the bedrock of truth. It will be uncomfortable. It will hurt. But on the other side of that pain is freedom. It is the only path to power, meaning, and unshakable control. Section 1. The cathedral of lies you build. Why do you do it? Why do you so expertly lie to yourself? The answer is simple. You're wired to avoid pain. When reality is painful or shameful, your mind constructs an alternate one. Psychologists have names for it: denial, rationalization, projection, but you can just call it what it is: weakness. It's a survival tactic that keeps you safe, but also keeps you small. Then there's cognitive dissonance. This is the psychological stress you feel when your actions conflict with your beliefs. You believe you're a healthy person, but you smoke a pack a day. To resolve that conflict, you have two choices: change your behavior, quit, or change your belief. It is always easier, in the short term, to change the belief. You tell yourself, the science isn't conclusive, or my grandfather smoked his whole life and lived to be 90. You build a story to bridge the gap between who you want to be and what you actually do. This self-deception spares you the discomfort of truth, but in doing so, it blocks growth and blinds you to opportunity. It shows up in 4 recurring patterns. 4 lies you tell yourself to stay weak. The first is the "I'm fine" lie. This is the lie of emotional numbness. You've had a crushing day. Your relationship is strained. You feel purposeless. Someone asks, "How are you?" And without thinking, you reply, "I'm fine." You might even believe it. But let me translate that for you. What you really mean is, "I'm anxious, I'm stressed, I'm unfulfilled." But admitting that would force me to do something about it. And that's too hard. This lie is a dam holding back a flood of uncomfortable truths. But dams, under enough pressure, always break. The second is the "I'll start tomorrow" lie. This is the lie that masquerades as patience, but is really just a deep-seated fear of failure. You want to start a business, write a book, get in shape. You tell yourself you're waiting for the right time. You need more money, more experience, a less busy schedule. Tomorrow becomes a mythical utopia where everything is perfect. But tomorrow never comes. This isn't about planning. It's about postponement. By endlessly delaying the first step, you protect yourself from the possibility of stumbling. You can't fail at something you never begin. This lie keeps you trapped in a state of unrealized potential, forever dreaming and never doing. The third is the "it's not that bad" lie. This is the lie of rationalization, the one you use to tolerate toxic environments and dead-end jobs. Your boss is disrespectful, but the pay is good. Your partner is distant, but at least they don't cheat. Your job drains your soul, but it's stable. You are minimizing pain and downplaying negative outcomes. You think you're being pragmatic? You're not. You're negotiating with your own misery. You are setting the bar for your life on the floor and then congratulating yourself for not tripping over it. This lie slowly erodes your standards and your belief that you deserve better. The fourth is the "I can't afford it" lie. This lie uses practical excuses to mask deeper insecurities. It's not just about money. You say you can't afford to invest in a course that could change your career, but you spend that money on trivial things every week. You say you don't have time to exercise, but you have 3 hours to scroll through social media. When you say, "I can't afford it," what you're often really saying is, "I'm not worth the investment." Or, "I'm terrified that even if I invest, I'll still fail, and then I'll have lost everything." It's a preemptive surrender. These 4 lies build a cathedral around you. It feels safe, it feels familiar, but it is a prison, and the longer you stay inside, the more you forget what the sun feels like. The walls become your world. The lies become your truth. Section 2. The price of a comfortable lie. The prison you build with these lies may be comfortable, but it is not without cost. The price of self-deception is a slow, compounding tax on your soul. It's an erosion of your potential that you barely notice, until you wake up one morning and realize you are bankrupt. The consequences are devastating. Part 1. The prison of powerlessness. The Machiavellian paradox. Machiavelli's philosophy is often twisted to mean deceiving others for power. But there is a paradox hidden in his work. While you might be able to deceive others, the moment you begin to deceive yourself, you lose all power. Your unacknowledged weaknesses become the levers by which other people control you. Here's why. Your blind spots become their weapons. Your denial becomes their strategy. If you refuse to admit to yourself that you have a desperate need for validation, you become incredibly easy to manipulate. Praise and approval become your puppet strings. A manipulative boss or partner can control you simply by giving and withholding it, and you won't even see it happening. If you deny your deep-seated fear of rejection, you hand others a powerful weapon. They can enforce your compliance just by threatening to cast you out. You'll go along with things you don't believe in, all to avoid a threat you've told yourself doesn't bother you. If you hide your insecurity about your competence, you become vulnerable to anyone who questions your abilities. A single critical comment sends you into a spiral of self-doubt. You become reactive, not proactive, constantly defending a fragile, false image of yourself instead of operating from a position of genuine strength. This is the Machiavellian paradox. You think you're protecting yourself by hiding your weaknesses, but by hiding them from yourself, you give them immense power over you. A buried weakness retains its control. An acknowledged weakness, however, can be managed. By lying to yourself, you build your own cage and hand the keys to anyone paying attention. Part 2. The erosion of the self, the Dostoevskian warning. The consequences run deeper than powerlessness. The novelist Fyodor Dostoevsky wrote extensively about the ultimate cost of this internal dishonesty. He warned that the man who lies to himself and listens to his own lie comes to a point where he cannot distinguish the truth within him or around him, and so loses all respect for himself and for others. Let's break that down. When you habitually lie to yourself, you blur the line between reality and fiction. It's like running your life on corrupted software. The data is faulty, so your decisions are flawed. You make poor judgments because you are operating from a distorted map of reality. This constant distortion erodes your most valuable asset, your sense of self. Your identity is built on your experiences, beliefs, and values. When that foundation is riddled with lies, the entire structure becomes unstable. You start to feel like a fraud in your own life. This leads directly to a loss of self-respect. It is impossible to respect someone you know is a liar. And when that liar is you, the result is a deep, corrosive self-loathing. You become aware of your own spin, and you come to hate it. And if you tell enough lies, you begin to hate yourself. And this is where the final tragedy comes in. You cease to be able to love. As Dostoevsky suggested, having no respect, you cease to love. Genuine connection requires honesty and authenticity. How can you connect deeply with another person when you are not even connected to yourself? You can't. Your relationships become shallow, transactional, or based on the same lies you tell yourself. You project your faults onto your partner to avoid looking at your own. This is the spiral. The lie erodes truth. The loss of truth destroys identity. The loss of identity demolishes self-respect. And without self-respect, your capacity for genuine love withers. Part 3. The compounding interest of regret. The final price of self-deception is the most painful. The cost of avoiding the truth is a debt that compounds with interest. It is the slow erosion of your potential, the quiet death of your dreams, the accumulation of regret. Think of your life as an investment. Every day you choose, invest in the difficult, volatile stock of truth, or the safe, worthless bond of a comfortable lie. When you are young, the difference seems small. Staying in the wrong job feels safe. There's time to course correct, but the losses begin to compound. A year in a soul-crushing job isn't just a lost year. It's a year your skills stagnated and your self-belief withered. 5 years in a toxic relationship isn't just 5 lost years. It's 5 years your capacity for trust was damaged. Each lie builds upon the last. To justify staying for 5 years, you have to invent bigger lies. I'm building security, you tell yourself, even as you feel more insecure than ever. Before you know it, a decade has passed. Then, too, the cost of confronting the truth now seems immense. It would mean admitting you wasted 20 years. This is the ultimate tragedy. It's not a sudden collapse. It's the slow, agonizing realization that you have traded the authentic life you could have lived for a hollow, safe, and meaningless existence. The heaviest burden you will ever carry is the regret for the person you could have become, if only you had been brave enough to tell yourself the truth. Section 3. The solution. The liberation of brutal honesty. So we stand in the ruins of our comfortable lies. The view is bleak, but it is from this place of unflinching reality that the path to true freedom begins. How do you break the pattern? It is a process, a commitment to a new way of living, grounded in brutal, radical honesty. Step 1. The radical audit, learning to see. Again, the first step is to identify the lies. You have to learn to see what you've trained yourself to ignore. This requires becoming an archaeologist of your own mind. First, the uncomfortable journal. For 10 minutes a day, write down the thoughts you actively avoid. Ask yourself pointed questions and write the first answer that comes to mind, without filtering. What am I pretending not to know? What situation am I tolerating? What truth about my life is the most difficult to admit? That discomfort is a compass. It is pointing directly at the truths you need to confront. Second, the mirror question. At the end of each day, look at yourself in the mirror and ask, where was I a coward today? This isn't about self-pity. It's about identifying the moments where fear dictated your actions. Did you stay silent when you should have spoken? Honesty is courage. By identifying where you were cowardly, you identify precisely where you were dishonest with yourself. Third, seek honest feedback. We are often the last to see our own patterns. Find one person you trust, not to placate you, but to tell you the truth. Ask them, what is one truth you think I might be avoiding? Prepare to listen without defending. Don't argue. Don't rationalize. Just listen. Their perception is data. And I want you to take a small step on this path right now. In the comments below, drop this affirmation. I choose truth. By writing it down, you make it real, and you join a community of people on the same journey. Step 2. Radical acceptance. Turning poison into medicine. Once the audit reveals the uncomfortable truths, the natural impulse is shame. This is the most critical juncture. The goal of radical acceptance is to treat these truths not as indictments, but as neutral data. Your weakness, once, you name it, is no longer a weapon that can be used against you. It is a coordinate on your map. It doesn't define you, but it tells you where you are. The process is about defusing the emotional charge. Let's say you unearth the truth. I am deeply afraid of what people think of me. Instead of reacting with, "That's so pathetic," you practice acceptance. You say to yourself, "It is true that I have a fear of others' opinions." You don't have to like the truth. You just have to allow it to exist. This is the key to reclaiming your power. An acknowledged weakness begins to lose its power over you. The moment you accept, "I am terrified of public speaking," you reclaim control. The fear is no longer a shameful secret. It's a problem to be solved. Now you can act. You can take a class or join a club. The acceptance of the weakness is the prerequisite to overcoming it. It turns the poison of a hidden shame into the medicine of a solvable problem. Step 3. Radical rescripting. Writing your true story. You have identified the lies. You have accepted the truth. Now, you must actively replace the old, false narrative with a new, true one. This isn't positive thinking. This is crafting an internal script that is grounded in reality and oriented toward action. The old script is a statement of fixed identity. I am bad with money. This is a lie. It's a hopeless declaration. The new, true script is one of process. I have a history of making impulsive financial decisions. I am now learning the skill of budgeting. See the difference? One version is a life sentence. The other is a battle plan. The lie. I'll start my business tomorrow. The true script. I am afraid of failing, which is why I have been procrastinating. Today, I will take one small, manageable step. My progress, not perfection, is the goal. The lie. My job isn't that bad. The true script. My current job is misaligned with my values. I accept this reality. I will begin exploring other options this week, even if it feels scary. The lie. I can't afford that course. The true script. That course is an investment. I will review my spending to find where I can redirect funds. I am choosing to prioritize my growth. You must catch yourself playing the old lies and deliberately replace them with the new, action-oriented truths. Over time, you will rewire your brain from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Step 4. Radical congruence. Closing the gap. This is the final and most important step. Honesty without action is just a more painful form of awareness. Radical congruence is aligning your external behavior with your internal truth. It is closing the gap between the person you know you are and the way you live. This is where the rubber meets the road. If your audit has revealed you are in an unhealthy relationship, congruence demands you act on that truth. Maybe that means suggesting counseling. Maybe it means setting a boundary. It is a single step in the direction of your truth. If your truth is that you dream of being a chef, congruence demands action. You don't quit your job tomorrow, but you do enroll in a weekend cooking class. You do one thing, however small, that honors the person you truly are. Congruence is built through small, courageous acts. Each time you make a choice that aligns with your honest self, you build self-respect. This is the ultimate source of personal power. It is the feeling of your inner and outer worlds finally coming into alignment. We began by confronting a hard truth. The greatest enemy to your life is the comfortable lies you tell yourself. We exposed the psychological traps that shield you from momentary pain at the cost of long-term freedom. We journeyed through the dark consequences, the agitation. We saw how self-deception creates a prison of powerlessness. We heeded Dostoevsky's warning about how it erodes your identity and self-respect. And we faced the devastating reality of regret, the compounding interest paid on a life built on lies. But we did not end in the darkness. We charted a path out, a step-by-step process of radical honesty. We learned to conduct a radical audit, to see the lies. We learned the power of radical acceptance, to look at our flaws as data. We learned to engage in radical re-scripting, to write new scripts of growth. And we committed to radical congruence, the daily act of aligning our actions with our truth. The journey of self-honesty is not easy. There's a reason you avoid it. The truth will set you free. But first, it will make you miserable. Embrace that misery. That discomfort is not a sign that something is wrong. It is the feeling of growth. It is the friction of a soul shedding a skin that has become too small. Brutal self-honesty is not self-punishment. It is the ultimate act of self-respect. It is the declaration that you are willing to face all of reality to build a life that is authentic and powerful. It is the foundation of everything that matters. Stop being your own worst enemy. Start being your own greatest truth teller. The life you've been waiting for begins the moment you decide to stop lying to yourself.